Singing me ba
Mageba, Magakba, Jima meba, Jimada, Jawa meba, Kawa meba, Wo, Sharebo, Tita Vina, Tomba Yila Su me, Sarwa me, Dushe, Dujena me, Number Sheba me, Mig me, Nawa me, Na me, Te me, Lu me, Yi me, Su me, Dra me, Ti me, Ro. Recha me, che me, do, mige kame bane, ige kame, ige number shimbe kamge bardo ya me, mariba me, mariba seba me bane, kashi me, kashi sebe bardo ya me, do, dishin do, dunga, kunjung wadang, gogwa dang la me, yishe me, toba me, matoba ya me, do, sharebo, deda vina, janju semba nam toba me, shirake bharo do, chimba la, tinjing ni de, simla jiba me be chakba me de chinje lule shindo yangin le de be thar chindo du sum do Barjate, Shishin Shaba, Tisu Irong Ocho. Cheba meba, ta meba, hoa meba, dro me la ma na geba zeno nan ta jin ye lo
Second day of our teaching. My apologies. And the reason is, one thing is that for a long time I really haven't been speaking with people. And the second thing is that normally when I speak with people, there are people in front of me. So we can, and so then you can each give each other some feelings, short reactions. And there's like the experience of the warm feeling that you're speaking to someone. But now when I'm speaking, in front of me, there's no one in front of me, so when I'm speaking, as I haven't really been speaking a lot, and so for these reasons, I'm not able to teach as well as I would like to. And so for that reason, I would like to apologize to all of you. So to continue where we left off yesterday, so basically yesterday, we've been speaking about the 3 superior trainings. We spoke about these a great deal yesterday. And the text from the Jewel Ornament of Liberation so I thought I'd read these words at the beginning of the chapter in order to remind you. And what the text says the precepts of engaged bodhicitta are threefold: superior training and discipline, the superior training in mind, and the superior training in prajna. Thus, the lamp for the path of enlightenment says, keeping the vow of engaged bodhicitta, practicing the 3 trainings of decent well, your respect for the 3 trainings will be great. So these are the words from the original text. So yesterday we spoke about these 3 trainings. So what you probably think is these 3 trainings are important. I think you probably think this. Well then, so the 3 trainings are really important, and these 3 trainings, if we don't understand what they are, then it's difficult. If we don't understand what the 3 trainings are, it's difficult to understand what the 3 pitakas or baskets are. The 3 baskets are the Vinaya Sutras and Abhidharma. And so these are teaching the meaning, when we teach the meanings of the 3 trainings in different ways, and that gives us the 3 baskets. For example, when we're primarily, the scriptures that primarily teaching the superior training and discipline are the Vinaya. The scriptures that primarily teach the superior training in samadhi are the sutras. And the scriptures that primarily teach the superior training in prajna are the abhidharma. So we can divide them in this way. And so in order to identify the three baskets, we need to be able to distinguish the 3 trainings. Generally, the discipline, samadhi and prajna are also possessed by the non-Buddhists, either complete or partially. And likewise, there are people who have may also have them. For example, if someone makes the promise, the vow that from today I'm going to give up eating meat and be a vegetarian, then this is discipline. And likewise, these days, the way we teach Buddhist meditation has become like the way yoga is taught. It's become business. And the meditation and the Dharma are separated. And so even people who don't have any, who don't have an interest in Dharma, will meditate in order to, will practice advertisements for meditation everywhere. Likewise, when you go into a massage therapist's office, you see that they have statues of the Buddha. And first of all, you think, oh, maybe this is a Dharma center. But when you look at it better, you say, how can this be a Dharma center? It's actually a massage therapist's office. And so the Buddha today has become like a symbol of having a relaxed mind for that reason. Even with people who have no faith in Dharma or who have no religion will also come to that. Likewise, these days, the scientists, scientists are important. There is physics, there is chemistry and biology and so forth, and as there are far more than the Buddhists do. For example, there are some Jain whom I've seen who live a human life like that, and particularly in this day and age, keeping such discipline is extremely difficult. even during the time of the Buddha, there were Brahmanic religions in India that taught dhyana and the formless absorptions and so forth. For example, our teacher, before he became the Buddha, he entered the Brahmanic religion. He studied with the extremist teachers Adraka and Rudraka and so forth, and many other teachers, and he learned how to practice the dhyanas and the meditation. So there are many mentions of this in the history. Likewise, there is the study of Sanskrit grammar, the study of logic and reasoning, the study of astrology and so forth. And so there are many such fields of knowledge, that an incredible number of these areas of knowledge, and the non-Buddhists also have these areas of knowledge. So when we talk about the discipline, samadhi, and prajna here, we call them the superior trainings, or in Chinese sometimes they're also called the undefiled trainings. So in any case, these trainings. So what is distinctive, or what is superior about them? What are the training? We say that they're special and distinctive and superior. So what are the essences and the internal subdivisions of these? And I didn't have a chance to explain that in detail, so I thought I'd speak about that a bit today. First of all, when we say what are the three trainings, as you all know, and the training in discipline, the training in samadhi, and the training in prajna. These are the three. As I explained yesterday, the order of these three trainings was primarily according to the order of cause and result. And so the first is the discipline. So discipline is the first training, and it's like the root or the basis for the other two trainings. This is as Nagarjuna said in the letter of friend, like the ground for all that moves and does not move, discipline is the basis for all qualities. And so what this says is that, like, when we human beings, and so the unmoving, the earth, mountains, and so forth, we're all on this planet Earth. And this earth is like the basis for a living, or the support for a living. And likewise, because we have the discipline, then we can have the samadhi of our mind resting in equipoise, and then because of that, then we can develop the prajna that liberates our mind. And so in that way, reason, prajna, saying the training and discipline. Generally, when we talk about discipline, is the intention to abstain from harming other beings and from the basis of harming others. As it says in the way of the Bodhisattva, discipline is taught to be transcendent from gaining the intent to abstain. So when we have this, when we talk about discipline as the intent to abstain from harming others, this is primarily we're talking about in terms of the discipline of the Shravakas. Otherwise, it's not necessarily definite that discipline is giving up harming other beings. For example, when we have there's the presentation that the wish to benefit others, and the basis for that is discipline and so forth. Likewise, in the Vinaya and the Abhidharma, there's explanation of the Pratimoksha vows as being physical, and Chandrakirti also described in his middle way, the five skandhas in the middle way, he exclaimed that the physicals are physical. And particularly, Mikha Korjune in his commentary on the single intent of the Jikung, which presents all the philosophical schools according to the Kaji, presents the Pratimoksha vows as being imperceptible forms. And so I think that you can't really say that discipline is categorically the wish to abstain. In any case, with the training and selection, if we divide it, we have the discipline of refraining from harmful acts, the discipline of gathering virtuous qualities, and the discipline of benefiting sentient beings. And so that's in this context. So here, when we talk about, in this context, we're talking about the discipline as the discipline of the bodhisattva, discipline of bodhisattva discipline, and so not just ordinary discipline. So since we're talking about the training in bodhisattva discipline, so these are has these three subdivisions. And the first of these is the discipline of refraining from refraining from harmful acts. And what this means is, it's like a householder who has the pratimoksha vows, or a monastic who, and also the pratimoksha vows in a monastic's being. These are the actual discipline of refraining from other people. When you have a god, for example, whose body is not an appropriate basis for taking a pratimoksha vow, when they make the resolve to give up the 10 non-virtuous actions, that is similar to the pratimoksha vows, then we can also say that this is, generally we can say that this is the discipline of giving up harming others, or harmful actions. But here, one thing we need to do is we need distinctions about whether we need to distinguish between the pratimoksha discipline and the bodhisattva discipline, and it's important for us to understand these. But however, in general terms, I'm explaining in terms of the general presentations. So basically, so whether we take the vow through a ritual or not, so when we talk about discipline in here, if it's whether we take it by going through a ritual, going to a guru and taking the vow, it's not categorically that. Basically, also the intent, I'm giving up killing others. If you have that intention in your mind, I'm giving up killing, and you intentionally give up killing, that you have that intentional wish to give up or the vow or the oath to do that, then that is also discipline. But merely not killing is not discipline. You have to have the thought that you're specifically giving up killing. It's otherwise, if it's just merely not killing, then you can't put that down and say that's God. For example, cattle don't eat cows. Cattle don't eat meat. And it's not a question of them specifically saying, I'm not going to do that. It's just, as soon as cattle are born, they just don't eat meat. And so for that reason, if we say that cattle and so when we say that cattle don't eat meat, we can't really really cannot term that as discipline. And so discipline generally So discipline means something that we're specifically keeping, or something that we are specifically maintaining. And that discipline of refraining from harming others, if we talk about the different types of harming others, if we think about it in terms of the discipline, then we can talk about in terms of motivation, in terms of the 10 discipline of giving up the 10 non-virtues. And if we talk about it in terms of the essence, we talk about giving up the 7 non-virtues of body and speech. For example, those lay people who have not taken the pratimoksha vows, even if they don't have the vows, once they've gone for refuge, they can also give up that. And so in that way, that is similar to the pratimoksha discipline. So in brief, here, when we talk about giving up the harmful acts, it's this discipline of giving a harmful acts. is the intent of giving it up as well as its seed. And its seed. Either one of these can be presented as the discipline of giving up harmful actions. So the actual one is the wish to give up the wish to give up harming sentient beings is the actual, and the seed of this is like the secondary aspect. So basically, if we haven't gone to the three jewels, but there are people who haven't gone for after the three jewels, but who have given up killing others, or taking life. And so you can't say that this is a vow, but even though you can't say it's a vow, I do think you can say that a discipline of giving up others. So a vow must necessarily be discipline, but I think that if it's discipline, it does not necessarily have to be a vow. So I think we can distinguish this carefully. This is something that we need to investigate. So that is the discipline of harmful actions. And following that is the discipline of gathering virtuous qualities. And so what this is, it is all the roots of virtue of giving up any of the six transcendences and so forth. It's that which produces them or makes them stay or increases them. That's what we call the discipline of gathering virtuous qualities. For example, when we are intending to listen to the scriptures, when we're reciting texts, or when they're going for circumambulation or prostrating and so forth, these are all so it's taking this. It's basically doing all the different types of virtues, and whether we're doing an ounce of virtue or a pound of virtue, it's like these are units of measure, an ounce or a pound. It's like saying grams and kilograms. It's like we're weighing the weight of the virtue. That's a way to measure this, right? So basically, what this is telling us is that even if it's a small virtue, we must not ignore it. We must gather it. And if it's a great virtue, we of course must gather it. And so no matter whatever virtue it is, we need to gather. We need to do it according to our own capabilities as much as we can. And so that is what we describe as the discipline of gathering virtuous qualities. And so for this one, when we are reading, when we're reciting prayers, when we're meditating, when we're doing all these all become the gathering virtuous qualities. For example, in the Goluk monasteries, before they have teachings, then the students, as it said, for the study to go well, we'd have to do pujas to remove obstacles. So in order for that, you need to go through pujas to remove obstacles, and because of the removing the obstacles, so that no internal external adversities may arrive. And if you do this, then your study will go. If you do not do this, then your study will not go well, because studying is a fine activity that accords with the Dharma. And in order to do Dharmic activities, then there are many external conditions that affect it. And some of these adverse circumstances we recognize, but some of them we don't recognize. And first, and only when it really comes up, shows it to be an adverse circumstance, only then do we recognize. But it's often too late. So from the very beginning, in order that the adverse circumstances do not occur, we do pujas to remove obstacles and recite prayers and do various services. And so these are very important. Now the third is the discipline of benefiting others. This discipline of benefiting others is the benefiting sentient beings in 11 different ways. That is what we mean by the soprano of benefiting sentient. So there are 11 different ways that we benefit sentient beings. And what these 11 are is, the first is helping others, the second is showing methods, the third is helping, the fourth is benefiting those who are in fear, benefiting those who are distressed by grief, benefiting those deprived of things, benefiting those who are settling in a place, benefiting those who wish to come into agreement, and benefiting those who are acting properly, and benefiting those who are acting improperly. And the last is benefiting through miracles. So basically, when we talk about bodhisattvas, and this is just like people who are benefiting others and trying to help others as strongly as if their hair was on fire. That is like their job, it's their work, is basically helping other sentient beings, and so that's what it is. So that is the benefit of helping other sentient beings. And this is extremely important. Basically, when you think about a bodhisattva, when we talk about the bodhisattva, talking about the different types of disciplines of bodhisattva and referring to Brahma, they're like the 18 primary main downfalls, but in terms of the things that we need to benefit others are these. So the first is helping others. So helping others means is when there's a time that others are when there's a time that others are in need, when there's time when they need help, or when there's an opportunity to help them, but you don't help them, and postponing it, that's not okay. Or if you're helping them in a non-dharmic way, or a way that's not a complete. And if it's something that is going to be, then if it's going to be a harm to the Dharma practice, or it's going to cause harm to others, then it's fine not to help them. But basically, if they're in difficulties, or if there's no such difficulty and no such situation, then we need to help or benefit others. If we don't, then it's not okay. So here, I think maybe it's better to take our tea break now. And so after we have tea break, then I will continue teaching.
福平长寿享乐福，上师三宝大悲利，恭喜护法大兄弟，因果不虚真实力，回向祈愿尽成就。
If you're not healthy in body and mind, and even if you think you want to help others, you aren't able to. But if you're healthy in body and mind, and there's no one else to harm other sentient beings, if there's someone else to help the other person, then to sort of push your way into it. If you go to try to push your way something to get the other person in the way, that's not all right either. And so you should not behave it in this way. So it should be in a way that's it accords with the Dharma.